Hello, and welcome to the Bald and Beardiful. I'm Bryce,
I'm Chris.
and Chris got muted on my end. I'm assuming he said he's Chris.
I'm not muted.
I didn't hear you say I'm Chris.
Can you hear
I
me
thought
now?
I can hear you now.
Okay,
Oh,
so
now
I'm
you're
Chris. He's Bryce.
and I'm
This is the
bald,
Bald and Beardiful.
and he's beautiful. Wow. Yeah, no, like I have the screens or the video up on my end so I can see you, and I saw you mouth I'm Chris, but I was like, there was no volume there.
Meh. We'll see what happens in the recording at the end.
I,
It'll be
I don't
funny.
know.
Either way.
It'd be funny either way. Do you want to? So, do you want to explain why this one's called "Keep On and Math On"? You want me to do
No,
that?
because it's your fault, so you have to
Is it
admit
my
to it.
fault?
It's
It's my
100% your fault.
it's because this is a two-person job and the other person didn't correct him.
Well,
So,
there's three kinds of people in this world: people who can math and people who can't.
it actually reminds me of that shirt. Like, there's 10 types of people in this world: people that understand binary and people who don't. It's a
Yo,
great shirt. But
I I get it.
the last episode we were discussing the 50 to 40-year dry spell of the Kansas City Chiefs, and the our math was obviously wrong. We we even I think we even mentioned that they haven't even won their division, or no, not won the division, but won the AFC in since 1969, and we still said 40 years, and which was just terrible. Like it was
That
50. It's
that
been
can't be
50
right.
years.
Didn't they go to the Super Bowl in like the 90s? They had like one Super Bowl where they went to the 90s and they went in the 90s and they lost.
Nothing that I looked up, and not even like I'm pretty sure I saw it during the Super Bowl. They had mentioned that it hadn't been since the 60s. I'm
Mm,
sure they went to the playoffs, but not they never. I mean, because I think they were probably in the playoffs last year, even, but they haven't been to a Super Bowl since the 60s. No, 69. Hence why it's 50. It's 50 years, not 40 years.
mm,
You looking it up right now? Is that what's going on?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, while he tries to correct me, I was excited for that game. I was rooting for Kansas City the whole time. I think I mentioned it on the previous podcast. I was rooting for them for multiple reasons. One, San Francisco having five wins on their belt already. Don't want any more competition between the Steelers and the Patriots. Having the only two teams that have six, and our friend Pete being the San Francisco fan, he it just wouldn't be that bad if he wasn't that much of a shite talker. I don't know what the PG word version of that word is, but yeah, so I was overall happy. They scared me in the third quarter. Oh my god! I mean, it was tied at the half, but then third quarter comes around, they get a touchdown and a field goal with no response from Kansas City. And then fourth quarter, Kansas City runs up 21 points and beats them by 11. It was ridiculously stressful, but that's what makes it a good game and a good Super Bowl game. There's definitely been some bad Super Bowl last year, bad Super Bowl games. Sorry, and so you always want good back and forth. Still deep in thought over there.
Oh no, I was waiting for you to be done.
Okay, what you got?
No, they won this. They won one championship in 1970. Is what I got. Is all I came up with. Like it doesn't say like I didn't get like I kept getting the same like information no matter how
So
I did this search where I looked for appearances.
the football year of 1969.
Was
They last year they got to the Super Bowl, which
No,
would have
they
been in.
won the Super Bowl. They said it says they won the Super Bowl that year. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say like I couldn't find like other Super Bowl appearances, right?
You just gotta look up AFC, how many AFC champs they have, because that would mean they went to the Super Bowl, which I believe is three. They've been 3 times, and I think all 3 of them were in the 60s.
Meh.
Man. All right, Beaker.
All right. So yes. So spoiler alert. For those of you who DVR'd it,
It's been almost a week. Like they've heard by now.
think. And funny enough, that's not the Lombardi Trophy that he's holding. Way to catch that one.
You mean the picture that you put up there? What is
Yep.
he even holding?
It's the AFC Championship trophy.
Okay, so that was taken before, and that's not even. He's 15. So, yeah, I don't know.
It's still a good picture.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, no, like that's really what it was. Like the whole root for KC. Actually, surprisingly enough, I felt like a lot of people were rooting for KC overall. Not really sure why.
Because a lot of people still view San Francisco as the gay community, and this world is. I'm not even gonna finish. It's a bad joke. It's an overall bad joke.
Wow, that went south.
It was.
Really quick.
So I stopped myself. Like it was gonna be such a bad joke. I don't know. Anyway.
Anyway, I was just gonna say like it was seemed disproportionately rooting for Kansas City. I don't know if it's just because they don't have very many, or perhaps a number of teams fans don't want them to have a sixth Super Bowl. It could be it, right?
Yeah.
Because right now Patriots and Steelers have 6, Cowboys have 5, Niners have 5.
I feel like someone else has 5.
No, it was the Patriots. I looked it up
Okay.
previously.
I
Had the
think
same
like
thing. I had the same thought.
Green Bay has 4.
4. Yep. So I think that is part of the disproportionateness. Could have been other politics in play with he who shall not be named. You catch my drift?
No, I'm still looking up at the championships.
Well, okay.
Well, because just looking at it right now since the merger, it says there it calls it the AFL championships was 62, 66, and 69, and so I really don't think they've been to a Super Bowl since then.
70s.
Hmm?
1970. They won an NFL championship.
Which the 69 year goes into like the early year of 70, so sure, but I'm just reading it as I'm just reading it as it's printed here. Just stop shooting the messenger.
Anyway, yes, so we don't have to hear Pete talk about this 6th Super Bowl victory, but football season has officially come and gone.
Yeah.
It's we have 7 months and however many days until football season again.
I was about to ask, did you set a timer on your computer or what?
Doomsday clock.
Yeah.
Countdown to football. Countdown to cover 5. We should do a countdown to cover 5.
There's an idea for next time. We are currently
for next time. We are, yeah. Anyway, but I think it was a good end. I think overall, like like you said, it was an entertaining game. It wasn't low scoring. It wasn't uneventful. You had some bits of drama, but overall, I think it was good that that Kansas City won. I do think it shows that like the Niners had some holes in their game that could have been exploited, that maybe weren't earlier in the season, right?
Right.
So,
no, you were curious if Kansas City was going to be able to stop the run, and
they did.
Overall, they did a good job.
And I think that's ultimately what helped them to victory. Besides, like, you know, I don't know where I was going with that. I had something and then I totally lost it. I was going to say something, but no. Mahomes got MVP like usual. Or not usual, but like everybody predicted, right? Like it was definitely a prediction.
It's mainly the quarterback. It's almost never the quarterback.
Never not the
What the,
quarterback. Something like that.
I said two things that completely contradicted themselves. What is wrong? Holy cow!
We're struggling today.
Yeah, it's one of those days, right?
um, yeah, well, I mean, I felt like Damian Williams. There was a good argument for Damian Williams. He scored 2 touchdowns. Like he was productive. But I think at the same time, Mahomes kept the drives alive. Really kept things together, even in the face of adversity. Didn't panic and ultimately uh, got the W.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure as far as anyone's concerned, like everyone on that team definitely played their part. If, even the anyone on the sidelines. I mean, I know there's a lot of. I keep seeing this in like TV shows, and I wonder if it's even real. Like players that didn't get to play in the big game but still got the ring, and like they're disappointed
That they got the ring, or that they didn't get to play.
that they didn't get to play. Like they're like, yeah, they're happy they won, but they're disappointed they didn't get to play in that game.
Well, sure. Like I could see that. Like you want to participate, right? Like you want
And actually, I got to correct you real quick. David Williams only scored a touchdown with 104 yards.
Didn't he catch a passing touchdown?
No, oh, maybe that's just rushing. Okay, those are his rushing stats. Maybe he caught one.
I thought he caught one, and that's where like so it was combined. It was combined.
Oh, okay, that's my bad.
Yeah, that's right. It is your bad. Oh.
Oh, yeah, oh yeah, in the fourth quarter, he got them both in the fourth quarter. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 5 yard pass, and then he had a 38-yard run. Yeah,
See, definitely like could have been in contention for MVP, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I really 1 year I really want the punter to get the MVP. No,
The
no,
punter.
not at the punter. Maybe the like. I don't think the punter could, by any means, get it. But unless he was also the field goal kicker, like it's a completely field goal game. He kicked everything in.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a scenario where you would say like the punter was the MVP. Like the only thing like potentially like I could think of is like he somehow managed to like save a touchdown while recovering a fumble and then run it back like 90 yards for the game winning score or something like that, right? Like that's the only like kind of like crazy scenario that I could foresee. Like
the the play was botched. He ran and somehow ran it all the way across the field without without being touched.
I say without being touched. I just said like he managed to make it.
Oh, I mean, while we're dreaming, we might as well make it good.
Well, if we make it good, then it's not the punt. Then it's definitely not going to be the punter.
Who's it going to be?
Um,
Who's less likely to get an MVP than the punter?
then the punter. Someone on the bench.
On the
like,
I mean, I could see that just because I mean I'm assuming it's not just MVP for that game. So like say you had a running back that ran the entire year and then gets hurt in like the last couple of games of the playoffs and can't finish out the season. I could see that.
but no, it's not MVP for the season. It's MVP for the game. It's Super Bowl MVP.
I guess I've always
Because
seen
like
it as
league
like for the
MVP,
season.
yeah, because they vote league MVP as a part of like the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, yeah, I know that.
So
All right.
anyway, all right. So
Is that our recap?
that's a recap. We're done. Like I think we've beaten that one to death. It's
Yeah.
over. We've moved on.
Yeah, we've had bad jokes, we've had good jokes. It's time to get off the football rail and move into a new segment.
Yeah. So starting our new content, trying some stuff out.
So we're gonna play a game. And what was the name of this game? I don't remember.
Well, we're not really playing the game. We're using the questions and cards in order
Oh,
to
we're making
find.
our own game. We were just calling it what? Awkward questions.
Yeah. It's the awkward questions game, not to give you confused with a future potential segment called awkward questions.
Fair enough.
which is very similar. But I think awkward questions is like more of a. I think we should do it with. It needs to be a guest segment. If I'm
Well,
spitballing here,
then invite someone.
you can invite people. Who do you want?
Once I get there, I will. Oh yeah, spoiler alert. I'm taking the move back across the country.
That's exciting. New opportunities.
New opportunities where you can possibly do a video of us together and actually like have us on screen without it having the shift. You guys don't know about that little technical problem, but since we don't really have an editor to just put our faces on here, and mainly because we don't want to do all that, we just do the slideshow so that way it doesn't go back and forth between who's talking. So yeah, hopefully one of these days we'll have the two of us together, and we'll be able to do this face to face and see if it's any better.
Probably
Anyway, probably not.
not.
Oh well, let's do this game. Are you
All
done
right.
playing Candy
So
Crush on your phone?
I'm not playing Candy Crush on my phone. I don't play Candy Crush. I don't have a candy addiction.
Hmm.
And it's not like they can see me.
Just like wait, Chris isn't talking. He's definitely on his phone.
Could be. It's more often than not, it's my wife texting me
Be
something.
quiet. I can hear you in the other room.
Oh yeah, she's definitely done that before when like she's had a headache and we've been recording and she like texts me to like turn the TV down. I'm like, I'm not watching TV. She goes, then be quieter. I'm like, really?
You gotta love the support.
Yeah. Love you too, honey. Not that she's listening. Um, I don't think she's liked or viewed any of our episodes.
Oh, guaranteed. I don't know. I haven't checked in a little while. I should probably check. I wonder if a few of our previous episodes have even been viewed.
I looked at it the other day. Some of them haven't. Some of them have though, and some of them have I think we have like a comment on a couple of them.
Really?
Yeah,
From who?
I don't know. I didn't look at it. I just
Like
saw that there was a
I
comment.
get like, and I guarantee you that if it's a comment, it's someone either you or I know.
Probably. I said we had a comment. I didn't say it was from a stranger. Either
You know
way,
what? Actually, you know what it is? I think one of them, if it's the one I'm thinking of, might have been my friend Brandon who did that.
maybe. Either
Like
way,
I think I know he left one there.
either way. So for the game time segments, we will
Yes,
be playing some sort of game in the future that we can. Well, in the future, we won't necessarily need to do it across the internet. We can do it in person, so that actually opens up quite a bit as far as games are concerned, right? That we're able to play, right? But for
correct.
this particular one, we're using I'm using cards from a game called Can of Squirms, and so basically we're just going to go through. We're going to go through 10 questions and debate out who the question most closely applies to. Um, See if we can get a laugh. See if it's funny. See if it's stupid.
Yeah.
Whatever. All
Well,
right.
you got the can of worms, so
Squirms, not worms.
I know, but that doesn't. It's just it's not. It wasn't meant to be a playoff of your thing or whatever.
Okay. This
Just
is
pull a card.
this is a great one to start with. Who is more
Oh
likely
yeah,
to take part in a porno? I'll let
definitely
ladies
you.
first.
Definitely you.
I mean, I'm glad that you recognize my talents.
I mean, I just know that there's a category for you. Smallest.
Smallest.
It was an easy joke. Um, I don't know. I mean,
We
granted,
all know you're camera shy, so that's not. It's definitely not
I've
you.
definitely been adventurous in my travels, but I would say that you'd probably be more of the, you know what, fork it, let's do it.
Probably.
Yeah, I think Sam could get you drunk enough one of these days. That card goes to you.
All right, fair enough. Card goes to me. All right, next card. Let's see. Who looks more like a Neanderthal?
Oh, I mean, as of right now, that's definitely me. Come
Yeah.
on. That's not even, that's barely a card. I like my beard is 3 times longer than yours easily.
Yes, I try to keep clean, professional. The ladies like it. The guys want to have it. It's very, keep the lines, clean lines. I get compliments on clean lines like on a daily.
You know, when I do trim mine up, I get people jealous of my beard all the time,
Versus
and
when
it helps being like 6'3", and I get Viking a lot. I just look like apparently I look like a brute.
are you Scandinavian by descent? I mean, we share some DNA, but not all DNA,
As
right?
as as far as I know, I'm Italian, mainly Italian, with some French and Irish in there.
Have you taken one of those? We're totally off topic, but it doesn't really matter.
This is what the
Because this
game
is
is
really for
for.
us anyway. Have you taken like the 23andMe or Ancestry?
No, no,
You
I
should.
haven't done the DNA swab.
It's not a swab. You spit in a vial. We all know how you're used to spitting, so it's right up your alley. So you spit in a vial, and then they take it from your spit, and they do an analysis, and then if you keep the subscription going, I think it's an annual subscription. They like as they get more like DNA profiles, it like gets more granular, and they update it regularly. So I got one as a gift, uh, and like it wasn't like so for some people it can be really interesting. For me it was like super boring because it was exactly what I thought it was going to be or what I had been told I was. There was a few other like small other like breakdowns as it got more granular with it. Like so like I'm mainly Italian. Well, big surprise there, right? I'm
Right.
mainly Italian. I do have some Irish in me. Um I do have some Irish and German, like mostly like mid. Then I have a little bit of like whatchamacallit, basically like Europe, a bunch of like a Eastern, not Eastern European, but like Central European DNA, like a bunch, like a non-specific, but they give you categories of like potential of how it like breaks down from there. But basically, like all the things that I thought I was like, or had been told like growing up, I was, so minus some other like,
So
so getting
the
granular as
breakdown
far
is it
as
was a thrilling experience for you.
oh, like I have zero. What actually probably the most interesting part of the my DNA profile though was a couple things. One, I don't have any Native American DNA in my heritage whatsoever, right? And two, I also have no Mongol or Mongolian or whatever. Not Mongol. That's wrong. Whatever. I said that wrong. I just said it wrong. Or like, but like basically like where I would be like a because Genghis Khan traveled so far and conquered so much, like some astronomically large number of the population shares some DNA with
Hmm.
basically Genghis Khan or his lineage, right? I do not.
All right. You just know that this has had to have happened where I mean, I know this is I'm more ancestry more than 23andMe, but some couple at some point did these tests and then found out through these means that they were like distant cousins and they're married with kids and they're just going, oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Oh, I'm sure that's definitely happened, especially people that like were maybe adopted
Oh
or
yeah, absolutely.
or like don't really know their family, like because it happens like some like a cousin, uncle, whatever splits off from the family and so like you don't really know beyond like your dad or maybe even your grandfather,
Hmm.
right? It doesn't go too far back. Or there was even times when like back in the day it wasn't uncommon for like if like a teen pregnancy, right? Where they went on like an extended vacation, right? Or on a sabbatical or studied abroad, if you will, had the kid. And then the kid was raised as their brother or sister, like the parents basically took on the kid. And so instead of it being, instead of it being the grandchild, they would have been the grandparents or their mother and father, and they treat the baby as a as a sibling, right? So it's like that uncle son type scenario, but not in the Alabama kind of way, right? You following what I'm saying?
This has got all kinds of weird and dark and
No. I mean, but it was, like I said, that wasn't an uncommon practice. So therefore, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you were, as people split off, not realizing that, like, someone who they thought was their sibling is actually their parent, and because of that split off, that can cause, some confusion and things. Is all I was commenting on.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah. The short version is no. I have not done the 23 and Me, and had no plans to, at least in the near future. But who knows? Maybe one day. All right. Go ahead. What's the next card?
All right. Let's see. No, this is self-incriminating. I'll read it, but I'm definitely not answering it. I plead the fifth, Your Honor. Who was the last person to take illegal drugs? That's just self-incriminating.
Well, you definitely don't need to say what it is, but if it was either one of us, it's definitely freaking you.
Well, you've been drug tested more recently for work, so
like today,
yeah.
yes.
So touche. There we go. That's where we're at. All right. Next question.
Plus, illegal could vary from state to state at this point.
Still federal. Still federal.
Again, depends on the drug too.
Yeah, they're pretty much all federal. Anyway, all right. So, who is more likely to spend a night in a cell?
This game is turning into guess what Chris did.
I've never been arrested.
But more likely to?
I mean, okay, I guess yeah. Just because I've never gotten caught, I guess doesn't count.
Yeah, no, I'm usually the guy the cops talk to. Like, did you see what happened? Yeah, I saw above everyone. I saw exactly what happened.
Yes, officer. I saw everything. He was about 6'3", Caucasian, blue eyes, had a beard, and he went that way.
Have you heard the I'm gonna butcher his name right now. Hang on. It's a comedian, big guy with a beard. He does what the heck? Tom Segura. There we go. He does a bit like the guys on a TV show that give like terrible descriptions. Yeah, he was between like 5'2" and 6'8", somewhere in there. Really? Yeah. And do you have anything else? Yeah, he had hair, like just just absolutely ridiculous descriptions.
Yeah.
All right. So, is there anything in this box that would lean more towards me? Because you've taken the cake on this game so far.
So far, this one I think actually ends up leaning towards you. Who has slept with more people?
Really? You think I hold you think I hold a candle to you?
I don't think you hold a candle to me. I think you beat me by a small margin, only because I'm married.
Yeah, you've definitely had the longer relationships than I have. I think at one point you and I were discussing this actually, and we were more along the lines of level. And since then, I mean, you've basically been in longer relationships. Obviously, you made one work, and I have not. I've been moving around. I've been in just different locations and always moving forward, and never had anything to stick around too long. So
Nice.
yeah, I
So
think
one for
so.
you.
Yeah, I think that's at least two for me. I think I had another one.
All right. All right, this one gets real awkward. I'm curious as to where this is going to go, so I'm definitely asking it.
What's going on?
Who has the cleanest anus? I mean, I guess like, are we talking like overall or just right now?
So many things could be said that are not going to be said on this podcast. Man, yeah, that's because I mean, depends on how you define clean. Do we just mean like just washed or hair free or like
Are
what do
you
you
admitting something?
are?
Do you manscape back there?
No, you're the one that's married. I don't know what you two are into.
I'm married. I don't. Manscaping is more of a light trimming, just to keep the hedges,
So
up to code for the HOA,
yeah,
if you will.
you don't you don't want the I don't want to say the neighbor, but just
The
by
neighbor.
like yeah, like I was just thinking of something different than your partner to play in the weeds. Like you want to play in the fairway. But yeah, like partner and neighbor were not hand in hand. Um, yeah, I don't know how you take care, and I don't want to know. But unless you really want to fight it, I'll take the win on that one.
I mean, whatever.
Well, unless you get in there with like the scrub brush, I don't know.
Uh, I use a power washer adapter for the.
Oh, then you win. Whatever is that for cleaning? I got to ask. That can't be. If you're going that hard, it's not for the cleaning.
All
Unless you're
right,
getting a
moving
deep
on.
clean.
Let's see. Some of these are stupid.
Oh yeah, I mean, like not every idea in the box is going to be gold.
No, some of these like aren't good for.
You just reading through a few.
Yeah, I'm reading through a few because they're like really stupid. And I'm like, this isn't even funny or going to be entertaining to listen to if we
Well,
talk about it.
name a stupid one. I want to know what like a stupid one on your level. What a stupid one is.
Yeah, let's see. Who is better looking? We look similar. We're related. So that one, and obviously it's me. So I wanted to give you a fair one.
Taller for one, stronger for second. You talk a lot of shit, but you are not better looking.
Taller, yeah, definitely. I can't fix that.
Well, you
But as
could with
far as
heels.
like stronger, meh, whatever. That's only because you're lonely
Man,
and don't have
whatever,
anything
and that's
better to
only
do.
because was enough said.
But that's completely subjective. You're not necessarily always stronger than me or necessarily stronger than me. It all just depends, right?
What would you classify as stronger?
What do you
Because
want
there's
to what do you
well
want to
there's
classify it as?
I mean because you can say what it's like how would you measure strength overall? Ask ask
Are we
ask. I mean,
trying to drag a car with our peni? Like whatever.
well,
Or is that how you're defining strength?
oh, like
Or mental
imagine
strength?
my thought behind it is if you were to walk up to someone and go say I'm stronger than would that person say fine let's wrestle then or hey let's arm wrestle or would you say like a weightlifting like what would you like how would you classify it?
I don't know. I didn't set up the question. I don't know.
Yeah, I still think it makes an interesting topic.
Yeah, but I mean,
And
because
it
like,
definitely is not an awkward question, but
but also it depends. Like, so like overall strength, like you'd have to do it in multiple categories and multiple things, right? Because just
definitely
because
not looking
okay,
forward to the penile truck pull.
yeah, you know what I mean. But that's what I'm saying. Like you could just because you may outperform, let's say like in weightlifting, you may outperform me in one exercise, but I may outperform you in the next one. So like, you know what I mean? How are you going to really rank that? You'd have to do a multitude of activities, and maybe when you get out here, we can run through some stuff
there
after.
there's a kind of competition that I did here while I was at my current job. Of one of the employees put it on, and it's not the Highland Games because that involves sword like jousting and sword fighting, but it was like the weightlifting games. I don't know the actual name of it. They do weight for height, weight for distance, the hammer throw, stuff like that. That was a lot of fun and is a good amount of strength.
Yeah, we can do that. Well, it also depends, but that all like okay with that too, right? So like with the height throw, you have an advantage being taller than me.
Yeah,
Taller competitors always have an advantage in that activity, right?
yeah, more or less. But again, that's why there's more than just the one category.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's also my point. Like we have to do multiple categories. Anyway, so one of the other stupid ones that are ones I not that it's stupid, it's just obviously like it's obviously one sided and not entertaining to talk about. So it's who's more likely to have an STD. So
Moving on.
it's yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's some of these that I'm like, okay, well, if we talk about this, like, it's definitely one sided. Or like, okay. So moving on to the next one. Uh, who last made a small child cry?
I mean, did you show your face to Weston lately?
Weston loves me. Because I'm the fun uncle, like, because I wrestle with him, and like I'll take like if he when he doesn't want to take a bath, and like I'll spray him down with the hose instead. Like, I mean, he still takes a bath, but like I'll take him out in the back and like do that. He called my bluff. Like, I was like one of those times like he was didn't want to like take a bath, and I was like, you know what happens if you don't go take a bath, you get the hose. And then what does he do? He
He goes
runs
on
into
and gets
his
ready for the house.
yeah, he runs into his bedroom, strips down, and comes running out into the living room, stark naked as day is. And he goes, and then like his dad, Shane, looks at him and goes, "Oh, you ready for a bath?" He goes, "No, I'm ready for the hose." Right? So yeah,
That
so we took him out back, and he ran around squealing and like sprayed him down. It was pretty cold too. I'm surprised he did it. And then like yeah, they captured him, captured him up again, wrapped him in a towel, and took him to take a bath. Right? So
oh
it's funny.
man. No, that kid's funny as hell. The and pretty sweet too. Like, I think Britt just needed me to get him out of the house for a second, so I took him to the park, just me and him. And we went back, Dad and I went to the store real quick, and I get a text from Brittany, and the text said, "Weston wants to know when you're coming back."
What was that?
When I left after I'd taken Weston to the park, brought him back, then Dad and I went to the store real quick. I get a text from Britt saying Weston's asking if you're coming back.
Oh,
So it's a sweet. He's a little sweet kid, but I don't know which one of us made a kid cry because I'm not around kids. Even though with you being around our niece and nephew, if anything, you'd be more likely. I don't know who the last person was.
true. All right, this is actually a pretty good one. Who is more likely to volunteer for a one-way trip to Mars?
Ooh, at this point, I think it'd be me.
Well, you're more likely to have the opportunity to. I don't know. I'd do it. I'd totally do it.
Yeah, you leave everything behind, assuming again. There's other aspects to that too.
Well, it's not assuming
It,
that I'd have to
do
leave
you
everybody or leave my
well,
significant other.
well, yeah, like who's going with? Who else
Yeah.
is taking that trip?
Well, I mean, it's
If it's just the one person, if it's just you, no, I'm not doing that.
just on your all on your onesies. Ooh, I don't know if I do it on my onesies. Like I would do a colonial like excursion with other people, knowing that we weren't going to return back to Earth. I'd do it.
Would you go if Sam wasn't going?
Mm,
Ooh, he's
no,
hesitating.
I don't think I can. Unfortunately, because she already said she wouldn't go. Because
Shit.
they were no, because what was it? SpaceX was starting to talk about how like in the next like I think as early as like the next 2 to 3 years, maybe it was like a really short timeline that based on their current like rocket tests and whatever they in a real short time, it may not have been 2 to 3 years, but like real near future that they would be capable of sending a manned trip to Mars. So like, but there is a possibility like as far as like where it may it may it may be a one-way trip, right? Like as far
Right.
as not necessarily like a suicide mission by any means, but like that you wouldn't be able to like the based on the technology, like you would be able to sustain life wherever you're at. Well, I mean, wherever you like when you make it there, not wherever you're at, but when you make it there, right? Be able to sustain life, but you wouldn't be able to make the return trip because you wouldn't have fuel, right?
Hmm. You think they would, if they did send a colony, they would send anyone that said they didn't want to have kids, just so they can populate it?
I don't even think they would need to do that, like, because I think what you're talking about doing is, I mean, test tube babies, right? You're gonna send up pre-fertilized embryos
Uh,
in order to, and then they're basically like you're basically populating the planet that way.
causing all kinds of abandonment issues. Holy cow!
I'm not saying abandonment issues. It's just a matter. But the thing is like you wouldn't know any better, right? You wouldn't know any different other than the people that raise you.
Until it's the kid that wants to find his dad, who's not on that same planet.
But I mean, but they're never gonna
Test.
know.
They're just gonna teach kids that they don't have parents.
No, like that they are their parents. Like you could call it like a village. Like you could,
Oh,
so you could do it in the aspect of like it's a like this is just how our society works, right? Like that your parent you are birthed in whatever manner, but you're taken care of by everyone, right? You could technically set up a society like that,
yeah,
and then
I'm not saying you couldn't. I'm just saying it wouldn't happen like that.
I mean, that's very like sci-fi, like
Yeah,
utopian kind of stuff.
yeah.
Uh,
Like we're at this point, we're trying to pitch a movie.
I mean, we could pitch a movie.
Yeah. What's I don't. I haven't seen that movie. Yeah, maybe we could. You start to go fund this page.
Yeah, GoFundMe to pitch. Uh, um,
Would that be? That wouldn't be an independent movie, would it?
we could make it an indie movie, maybe. Here's a good one. No, we're like say so go back and forth. We go from talking about missions to Mars and setting up a
To
utopian
actually
or
actually
just
playing the game. Yeah.
so back to playing the game. Who would give the better lap dance?
You've seen me give a lap dance, and you know it wasn't that good.
When did I see you give a lap dance?
The girl that burnt her purse at the club. Remember, I had to give her a lap dance. It was you, me, and Sam. We were out in Scottsdale, I believe. The this girl and her two friends were out, and while I was gone, she like set her purse on a candle and lit it on fire.
Oh,
And
at Merc Bar.
there you go.
Why do I keep forgetting that night? Oh, because I drank like 4 or 5 old
Yeah,
fashions
I drove
on
you
top
and the
of.
wife to be home and try to convince you to stop kicking the window out of your car, saying
Oh,
it's the Uber, it's Bryce's car. Turn off the engine. Like shut up. Really?
yes, that was really great. As she kicks the window of her Uber, that's really great.
It just for the sake of the story, I was driving them home in his car, and she was kicking the window, saying, "It's just the Uber, like it's okay." And then
Uh,
later we're trying to get food what you do when you at 2 a.m, and like we're just idling, waiting for the food, and she's complaining that the car doesn't turn itself off like Dad's did. It's so loud. It's not loud.
all right, I think
What was the question? I don't even remember. Oh, the lap dance. You'd give
lap
the better
dance.
lap dance. I would hope, because it couldn't get much worse than mine.
Oh man,
You're not even gonna disagree. You're just gonna take full credit for that one.
yeah, I'll take full credit for that. I got
All right.
moves
All right.
like Jagger. Okay, who is more likely to have made a sex tape?
That's a coin toss at this point. I've definitely made a couple.
Have I made a couple? I know I've made at least one. There might be a couple out there floating out there, but the thing is like when I made them, this was like pre-cloud,
Oh yeah,
so
definitely. Oh no, nothing goes on the cloud. No, mine weren't even like full on tapes. They were just like clips from it. Though I was like, I'm gonna film this part.
yeah, no, nothing went in the cloud. No, but what I'm saying is like it's not even like saved on like a device. It would be saved on like a memory card. It may be on a memory card somewhere in like some like a drawer or the bottom of a box. Like there's a memory card floating around with.
I think at this point we're just getting lucky that the wife doesn't listen to the show. She's gonna
Nah,
go
she
digging.
doesn't care. It's not any of mine. That's for sure.
I think we get time for one more. Let's do one more.
Okay. I gotta find a non-sex question. I mean, I don't want to answer this one, but I'm gonna read it just because like these are really like getting pretty ridiculous now. Who is more likely to enjoy being peed on by their partner during sex? I'm definitely not like talking about that one, but these are getting getting ridiculous now as we get deeper
Chris, I
into
think
it.
we're learning a lot about you tonight.
No, I'm not a golden shower member.
No, but silence is golden.
Wow.
if you're not gonna talk about it.
Come on, give me. Jesus.
You got this. I believe in you.
Oh man.
Still nothing, huh?
No, like these suck.
And they're not all.
See, but this is an easy one. This is definitely you. Who is more likely to have an impure thought about someone in the room?
There's no one in either of our rooms. Like, am I gonna have an impure thought about an imaginary friend of yours? Like, what the fuck?
Or here's a great one. Who has weirder parents? We share a parent.
So at that point, you're going, who has the weirder mom?
Nope, definitely not discussing that.
It's definitely our dad. He's the weird one.
I mean, this is okay. So this was easy because this one's definitely me. Who would get laid quicker if they went to a singles bar right now?
Oh yeah, definitely you.
Yeah, I mean
that's more overall. That's just more your realm. We've done that. We've discussed that multiple times. It's just not my thing.
True.
What's your name? What? Hashtag Chris Porter. That dude's hilarious. Come on, we need one good one to end on.
I know, I'm trying. You can't ask that one. Who had the ugliest prom date? You didn't go to prom.
I never went to a prom. No, at that point, we're just learning things about me. Why didn't he go to prom? Like, well, I went to 3 high schools. At that point, I guess it would just be you. You had the uglier prom date.
Poor girl.
At least fill in the gap with like another dumb one.
Yeah.
Is this a good one to end on or no?
No, but it's funny. Who is more likely to be sporting a vajazzle or a pajazzle?
I'd do it. Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. I've already walked around like Bush Gardens with the jingled beard.
Come on. Now these are getting. Well, this one also isn't fair. Who was the last person to lose their virginity? I'm significantly older than you.
Which makes it even more embarrassing.
Oh, God. Yeah, he had some good ones, and then they not so. Wow, apparently this card was written for Alabama. Who is more likely to sleep with their cousin?
Yeah, that's an obvious Southern joke or jab at the Southern.
Uh,
Apparently, I'm losing my ability to speak. That made no sense. Jab at the Southern.
um,
Considering how we both share cousins, that'd be really, really weird question to ask. No, definitely you.
uh,
Could you imagine a family get together to do this one?
oh, good lord. Especially like, okay, we ask that question with cousins in the room, and y'all just
It's
kind of
that's
look
what,
at each other like,
that's what I'm saying.
oh man, who has the better haircut? Oh
Oh,
man.
if we're going beard, yours is cut a little better.
Um, no, good lord.
Could you argue that like seeing how we cut all of the hair on top of our head, we had the better haircut just because we cut every single hair
Yeah.
completely off? We've been looking,
That's a weird one.
been
Who's
looking for like
who?
6 minutes.
Who has the most appealing body odor?
Appealing body odor, like that, just sounds like that sense sounds like an oxymoron. I mean, I guess odor isn't odor supposed to be like a bad smell?
Not
Not
necessarily. Odor
it's just
isn't necessarily
it's just a
specific to.
smell.
Yeah. All right, screw it. I've been trying to get one that isn't necessarily like sexual in nature, like that's still funny and worth like actually like talking about. But I guess this one will do.
All right.
It's not that it just I give up on trying to find one that's like that. So it's who has the more outrageous fetish and what is it?
Um, man, I don't necessarily think I have a straight up fetish. I mean, I definitely have a lot of things that I enjoy and definitely still want to try that I haven't done, but I don't think I have like a fetish.
Well, like, so you got to think of it in terms of like a particular thing that particularly excites you, like almost like instantaneously, right? Like, so it doesn't have to be like necessarily like out. It can be, some of them can be more out there than others, but it's like, yeah, something that makes you like 0 to 60, right? Almost instantly. That's
Yeah,
what it's really considering.
and the first thing that comes to mind is to me isn't even that bad, or not even that any fetish is really well. There's some really bad fetishes, but like not saying that fetishes are bad, but like it to me, it's definitely more PG-13 than it is RX, if you know what I mean.
Hmm.
Um, and it's just the piercing the twins. Like to me, that's really hot.
Got it. uh I guess it kind of counts. I don't know. I,
Well, by that definition of like
yeah, I guess you're right.
zero to 60, I see that, and I'm like, okay, I want to talk to this person, kind of thing.
I want to talk to her. You see it, huh?
Well, yeah,
And then you want to talk. So like you get them in bed, they're ready to go, and then you're like, so tell me about your hopes and dreams. Like, what do you do for work? That's cool. Have you been to the new restaurant that just opened up down the street? Like, has really good tapas.
you, should, you should try the skewers. I mean,
Oh man. You might be able to take it a step further. Be like, did you play with a pogo stick when you were a child? uh,
I have no idea where you're going with that one.
uh, it's unfortunate for your date. Anyway, um, yeah, like that's something that like even like having like previous friends that were a little bit more open about things, like never really locked down anything really specific, but yeah.
Yeah, if I was to go a little further, if anything, just because I haven't asked anyone yet, it would be to see someone in cosplay.
Cosplay.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, I like my fair share of anime and what have you. So I think that would be kind of hot.
so are you going to be going to Phoenix Con then while you're out here?
I haven't been to any con as of yet, so maybe I'll look into it. All right, what you got
For what?
for the answer? I'm not the only one putting up an answer here.
You win.
What? You don't have anything decent?
um,
Come on, you've been to the freaking fetish ball. How do you not have something?
actually, probably like my like not it's like any one of my things like as far as like my I was just saying more less of a fetish and more of a kink, I guess, and that's kind of where we're kind of going along. Is the naughty like secretary like librarian kind of look, like pencil skirt, blouse, glasses.
Okay, so if it was just the piercings in main, you'd win. But I think with the cosplay, beats out the naughty secretary.
Well, it depends
And
on how like it depends on what kind of cosplay. Are you trying to take advantage of Pikachu or what?
just go full furry.
Oh man, this this went south so bad.
That's why it's a good one to end on. All right, flip the screen and let's get out of here.
All right. Until next week. Like and subscribe. Smash that like button. Like it's your fetish. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Find us on Facebook, Bald and Beardiful. Email us at ballandbeardiful@gmail.com. No cousins were accosted or hurt while in the taping of this
share, share,
episode.
share this episode with somewhere between 40 or 50 people.
Yeah, suggestions for games, send it to us so we can continue game night. Be on the lookout for new segments.
And we'll talk to you guys later.